The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. Chapter 24. Hendon Hall. As soon as Hendon and the king were far enough from the police officer, Hendon instructed Edward to hurry to some place out of town and wait there. While the king waited, Hendon went to the inn to pay for the room. Half an hour later, the two friends met and started for Hendon Hall on their donkeys. The king was warm now, for he had taken off his rags and put on the second-hand suit which Miles Hendon had bought for him. When they had traveled about 10 miles, they reached a large village and stopped there for the night at a good inn. All was as before. Hendon stood behind the king's chair while Edward dined, undressed him when he was ready for bed, then lay down on the floor and slept at the door, covering himself with a blanket. The next day and the day after, they went slowly on, and Hendon told the king how he had looked for him. "You see, Your Majesty," he said, "that archangel led me like a fool all over the forest. He took me back to the hut when he understood that I did not want to go away without you. Old man went into the hut and I waited for him. In a few moments he came out looking sad and worried. He said he had thought you had come back and lain down there to rest, but it was not so. You were not there. I had waited at the hut all day. Then my hope to see you died out and I left to look for you somewhere else." Then the king told him his own story. After which Hendon said he was sorry he had not killed the archangel. On the last day of their trip, Hendon talked about his old father and his brother Arthur. He told the king many things that showed what good people they were. He talked of his love for Edith. He even said a kind word about Hugh, his younger brother. At last he cried out, "There is the village and there is Hendon Hall, Your Majesty. And that wood there, that is my father's park. Let us hurry." When the travelers reached the end of the village, they turned into a narrow road. They went along it for half a mile, then passed into a green park through a wide gate. A large beautiful house was before them. "Welcome to Hendon Hall, my king," Hendon cried out. "Ah, it is a great day. My father and my brother and Lady Edith will be so happy to see us. I am sure they will make their house and hearts your home forever." The next moment Hendon took the king by the hand and entered the house. He brought him to a large apartment, then ran towards a young man who sat at a writing table in front of a fire. "Kiss me, Hugh," he cried, "and say you are glad I have come back. And call our father. Home is not home to me till I see his face and hear his voice once more." But Hugh looked at him in great surprise. Then he said slowly and quietly, "You are mistaken, poor stranger. Whom are you taking me for?" "Taking you for? I'm taking you for Hugh Hendon," said Hendon. "For whom else can I take you?" The young man continued in the same tone. "And who do you imagine you are?" "I do not imagine anything. Do you want to pretend that you do not know me, your elder brother Miles Hendon?" "What? Can that be true?" Hugh cried out. "Can the dead come to life? Ah, it seems too good to be true. No, it cannot be true. Please do not mock at me. Quick, come to the light. Let me see you better." He took Miles by the arm, dragged him to the window and looked at him from head to foot, turning him this way and that. Miles smiled and laughed all the time. "Well, brother," he said, "do you see now that I am really your old Miles, your lost elder brother? Ah, my dear old Hugh, this is a great day. Give me your hand, give me your cheek. I want to kiss you." He was about to take Hugh in his arms, but Hugh made a step back. He said sadly, "Perhaps other eyes will see what I cannot see. Alas, I fear that the letter spoke the truth." "What letter?" "The letter that came 6 or 7 years ago. It said my brother Miles died in battle. It was a lie. Call our father, he will know me. I cannot call the dead." "Dead? My father is dead?" Hendon's mouth trembled. "Oh, this news is a heavy blow. Then let me see my elder brother Arthur. He will know me. He is also dead." "God have mercy," cried Hendon, "both are dead." "Do not say that Lady Edith is dead?" "No, she lives. Thank God. Hurry. Brother, let her come to me. She will not say that I am not myself, she will know me. Bring her and bring the old servants, they, too, will know me. All are dead. Only 5 of the old servants live: Peter, Halsey, David, Bernard, and Margaret." Hugh left the room. "It is strange. Of the 27 servants that we had, 22 honest people died. The servants that are alive have always been dishonest ones," said Hendon to himself. He continued walking up and down the room. He forgot about the king. The king felt sorry for him. "Ah, my king," said Hendon, "I hope you believe me, do you not? Wait and you will see. Lady Edith will say that I speak the truth. Here I was born, my lord. Here I grew up. I want you to believe me." "I believe you," said the king. "I thank you out of my heart," cried Hendon. At that moment the door opened and Hugh entered. A beautiful lady, clothed, followed Hugh, and after her came several servants. The lady walked slowly. Her head was bowed and she looked upon the floor. Her face was terribly sad. Miles Hendon ran forward crying out, "Oh, my Edith, my dear Edith." But Hugh stopped him and said to the lady, "Look upon him. Do you know him?" At the sound of the Miles voice the woman's cheeks got red. She was trembling now. She stood still for several moments. Then she slowly lifted her head and looked into Hendon's face. Her cheeks turned pale and her eyes were frightened. Then she said in a dead voice, "I don't know him." She turned with a moan and went out of the room. Miles Hendon sat down and covered his face with his hands. In a few moments his brother said to the servants, "Look at this man. Do you know him?" They shook their heads, turned to Hendon and said, "The servants do not know you, sir. I fear there is some mistake. You have seen that wife doesn't know you? Your wife." Hendon cried out, "Oh, now I see it all. You have written this letter yourself, and you have stolen my bride. Go away, or I shall kill you, dishonest and cruel Mar." With a red face, Hugh ordered the servants to attack the stranger. But one of them cried, "He is armed, Sir Hugh, and we have no arms." "Armed?" said Hugh. "What of it? You are so many. Go and arm yourselves and the door, or he will run away." "Run away?" cried Miles. "You can be sure I shall not run away. Miles Hendon is master of Hendon Hall and he will stay here.